Meat bags. This is my cargo bike. I say it with a question mark like that because it was like my commuter build, the commuter that I built that I like always wanted to build. And then I got bit by the cargo bike bug and I was like, oh, Extra Cycle used to make this thing called the Free Radical. And so I started looking and they stopped making it, but you can still find them pretty like affordable-ish depending on who's got it. I picked this one up. It had a wooden top. It has the sides. I have them somewhere. What do I have in here? Oh, that's right. I found that on the side of the road, and then I was gonna wash it out. And it's a good water jug. That's from the last time I rode it. Anyway, I took the wood off. I put this old piece of a snowboard on there. I cut it out to fit, obviously. Gave it a bigger deck, drilled a bunch of holes in it, so I have spots to mount bungee cords and stuff like that. And started layering it with stickers, and then added it on. But I missed my commuter, and I want this on something that is a little bit more of a rigid frame. This has an inch headset, threaded, and I feel like this would do better on a bike that has an inch and an eighth uh, threadless headset. That way I could do a disc fork up front. It has the abilities to run a disc in the back on this thing under these crazy bags here. Um, there's a mount somewhere right here. Yeah, right there. And yeah, so anyway, I'm gonna get it off here and I'm gonna start looking for another frame to mount it onto because I think what I want to do is like weld it onto a new frame and of course bring some struts from the back and bring them up here and really just mount this thing on there and make it have a permanent home, make a permanent long tail cargo bike. This thing gets a little twisty. They all do, but I also know that this frame wasn't designed to have a cargo tail on it. So if I got something a little bit beefier, then this would do better. And then if I weld it on there, it's going to be more solid. So yeah. Anyway, let's take this off. Okay, don't mind my rusty chain because I was commuting on this thing in the beginning of winter. I haven't ridden it since and I've been kind of neglecting it and I feel bad, but we're changing that. So it's held on right here under your chain stays, kind of like a kickstand. And then it has these two bolts back here. And then there's one on this side as well, right there. And you undo those, and then the whole rear frame comes off of the bike. Obviously, there's a longer chain involved, there's a longer brake cable involved. I added these little rack support struts on here to try and like help with the sway back and forth, and it definitely helped. But I think welding it on, like I said, we're gonna be going from like here down to there with a support, and then like welded right up here. Not on this frame though. We're gonna get a new frame. All right, I'm gonna undo all these bags. Well, not all the bags. I'm just gonna undo the straps. This thing is one of my favorite bikes to ride, hands down. It's just super fun. Super fun. I would love to get a new set of bags for it. Extra Cycle, you hear that? I put 1,000 miles on this last year. Okay, so I put like 300 and something on it with the Extra Cycle attachment, but I put 1,000 miles on my commuter. If this was on there in the beginning of the year, I'd have put 1,000 miles on there. So, I mean, these bags still work, so I shouldn't complain, right? I guess I have my own pattern if I want to make them, right? I'd have to like trace it out and make a pattern, but all right. And so now I can like flip these up and you can see what's going on. I'm gonna take out that rear wheel. That's gonna help a ton. And undo the brake. Got a really cool old Dior XT derailleur on here that I might take off and polish up. I think that would be kind of cool. Polish that up. But first, I got to get my wheel key because this has anti-theft skewers on it. I'm gonna go get my wheel key and get this off. All right, so I got my keys. So there's this little piece here that fits into the skewer here. And oh, I didn't undo my brakes. There we go. That would have made it difficult for the rear wheel to come out. And so there's the ISO mount. And what's really cool is that this is set up for a 203 rotor. And so you put a 160 ISO mount tab here, and this is set up for a 203 rotor. So you can have a nice big rotor to be able to stop you and all your crazy cargo. This is no thank you, sir. There we go. I was going to say that derailleur can come back. This wheel is heavy. There's a thorn-proof tube in here, and then this tire is studded as well. This wheel is heavy. 10mm there. I just actually had that on there for an additional lock nut. And we just threw it on the floor. So lacking on those skills right now, I'll tell you that. There we go. Now we've got these little 5mm guys here that we gotta undo. I guess I should undo the brake too, the cable, because when this comes off, the brake cable is gonna want to come with it. Oh, I guess in the derailleur, huh? There's some things that I should undo. There we go. There's that. Oof. Yeah. I guess I can cut that zip tie, huh? It's pretty crazy. Like it wore into it. but it didn't. I don't know. It didn't wear through it for as much as this zip tie. Saw this chain going through it. Like it's pretty crazy. I know that there's a master link in this chain somewhere. I think I just found it. Score! Oh yeah. This chain looks like poop right now, but I'll throw it in the ultrasonic cleaner and it is going to come out so nice. And it'll be ready for when I find a new. Remember what that looks like. You remember how dirty that is. All right. So we've got. All right, now undo the brake cable. Ta-da! All right. We're so close. It's almost there. All right. All that's holding it on is these rack mounts, basically. I want to say I used really long bolts because I wanted to make sure I like engaged all the threads. I did. This free rad is not exactly light either, just so you know. Ta-da. Right. Woo. There it is. Yeah, like this is a bicycle for sure. You know, I've picked up bikes this heavy. Oh man, look at that. It's back to how it was when I had first built it. I'm pretty excited about that. I'm going to keep putting it back together. We'll put the rear wheel back on, and I'm going to need a chain. We'll have to get one of those. And I want to do a couple of things to clean it up anyway, but it's back, baby. This thing's heavy. I'm going to put it down. Go. Yeah, I'd like to clean up this derailleur. This is cool. This, like I said, this is an older dealer XT. It's a 28 tooth max, but I had it on a 34 tooth, no problem. And we'll probably stick it on a 34 tooth again. But yeah, we'll stick that guy. We're gonna tear it all down, pull it all apart, do the thing. But for now, let's get a new back wheel on this thing. I am going to I'm gonna take this cable and save it because this is a tandem shift cable. So we'll save that so it works proper on the new setup. So throw this back on there. I got to put the kickstand back on so when I take it down off of the rack, it's good to go. Oh, look at that. Got to take that off. I forgot that was like something that I had. You can't really see it. It's right here. This was a mod that I had to run canties on the come on, think here, to run canties on the free radical. Little schwabble wobble in that tire. It's insane. I don't think you can see it. Oh, that tire's got some good wobble to it. It's in the tire too. It's not in the rim. But with it being a studded tire, I was like, you know what? I don't care. I'm gonna ride it. I'm gonna just roll with it. I'm a kickstand guy. I know it's weird. I'm sorry. It's easier to move the bikes around the garage just to be able to put them where I need them to go with the kickstand on there. Not an issue, you know. You just kickstand, set it down, good to go. Love it. All right then. I don't know why I just sounded British right there. All right then. So this is my hard rock. It is a 91. I really like this thing. I sanded it. I wet sanded it, and then I clear coated it, which I think I'm gonna do again. It needs it in a couple of spots. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna just maybe I'll just wet sand it and and top wax it or something. Who knows? But I love this bike. It's an XL. It's got a Brooks on it. I'm a Brooks guy. All of my almost all my bikes have Brooks on it. This one's got a Brooks. The Special's got a Brooks. My State's got a Brooks. The Clunk's got a Brooks. The fat bike would have a Brooks if I liked the C17, but the leather doesn't do great in the wintertime. I don't know. Maybe I'll put one on there. Maybe I'll put a B17 on the fat bike and we'll see how it does. But this is going to get put back together. The basket's coming off for now. I love the basket, so it's going to go right back on as soon as I find a nice low profile rack for it so the basket can sit down lower, because as of right now this basket's like too high. Really knocks off the center of balance there of a longer stem. And these bigger, wider, swoopier bars. I don't know. I like them. So yeah, I apologize. It's not as exciting as the build off videos have been, and I'm waiting on a couple of parts to come in so I can do part two on the Specialized. I guess I could do part two and it would just be short. Like part two would just be like grinding off the brake mounts, and yeah, grinding off the brake mounts. But like if I got the calipers that I wanted, then part two could be grinding off the brake mounts and installing the new Redshift bars that I got, and I have bar tape and all that good stuff. So that could be the better part two. And then part three would be the ride, obviously, right? Going for a ride and staring at it. So we're gonna get these on the commuter. I've got some really fun projects coming up. I picked up a Trek single track 900. That's going to be a fun little makeover. I have a like a 95 or a 96 specialized hard rock step through, which is really cool. That's going to be a fun one in this awesome blue. And then I picked up an 89 Fuji Cadenza, and that is going to be a really fun build. Um, yeah, I'm going to have fun with that. It's got the U brake on the chain stays. So anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Get out and ride your bike. Too much junk in here. It's not junk, but too much in here.